think we should be back up. Sorry about that. There was a slight hiccup with the internet connection there or something. But everything should be back. We are still here with the Brian Fred and Tom Kelly. Okay.
We're back.
We're back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We had, like I said, a slight hiccup there, but we'll bring you the rest of this game and the next one as well.
All right, so let's see what we missed. It looks like we're in.
So we got the one stack site on Jakku with everybody from light side. I think we're battling there.
We did see. Okay, so we saw pretty much everyone who was at the prefect's office on both sides head over to the docking bay. Krennic did move over to the street
Yep.
to join up with Jin, and Brian says, "I'm going to break Jin's cover because there is
No reason.
no
To have an
reason to have her
undercover spot.
undercover anymore."
Because yeah, that two force loss is tough, especially when she's only covering up a drain of one. Kind of strange to see that Tom's only pulled one card off Justice this game, even though we've had a lot of battles.
Well, he hasn't needed to.
All right, so looks like Jin's gonna move over to where the Falcon is. So he's just kind of covering up a drain each turn with that Falcon. He's not really getting into too many battles just because if it's when you add 5 to your total battle destiny, you're gonna get your stuff cleared.
4 right now because there's no Imperial on the system. But
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he needs to have somebody on the Mara Jade boat if he wants to get a plus from that.
he's got all 3 systems now.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
Beefhead just
that
completely kicked out of space. I
he's,
think I
he's,
see
he's not draining at route here, but he has all 3
Yeah,
systems.
he's got all the space locked down. I think Beefred has another copy of Tantive in his hand, or some sort of ship. Whether it be, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's another Tantive. So maybe he'll attack that Decimator, but
Tom has close call. We know about.
he can exchange,
He's got his exchanges.
domination if he wins battles. At this point, like I can see, I can see Beefred just trying to get this one as close as possible at this point because I don't think he can pull this one out without having any space at all.
He just has to draw 1 to crack Tanev plus pose immunity.
Yeah, so like that's pretty tough. Gonna play their tracking us to activate a force. Everybody out there who was watching us just a few moments ago, make sure you refresh your stream if you're having any issues. We did have a slight hiccup, and usually that fixes connection issues. So
Hey, we lost a third of our viewers on the
yeah, I saw
stream
that. So that's
crash.
kind of why I noticed. Like, oh, maybe there's just a few people. Yeah, it was just a quick blip in the radar. I don't know what happened. It just the internet got full for a second.
Is that? Is that?
That was 6 minutes ago. So
Okay.
yeah, that's still reminding us about that. Was useful for a bathroom break. Yeah, if only we would have been so lucky. So I mean, at this point, like I said, if I was if I was the old Allies player, I would want to try to get this game over with as soon as possible, just because Rops can retrieve a lot of Imperials back if you let them battle you every turn.
That's why you wear dark pants doing commentary.
I'm wearing blue pants.
Yeah, I'm in jeans,
Yeah.
so
Good old Jim Ross.
Clay, are you watching this at 8:30 in the morning? That is dedication.
You guys can tell me when set 11 is released. Will it be released before Euros? You
It,
mean Euro Worlds? I would say probably almost assuredly
before Euro
Euro
Worlds,
Worlds.
maybe not before Euro Championships.
I think it's going to be a summer set, um, late summer.
Yeah, Amsterdam Euros. I don't know
When the dates
the
are for
answer
that
to.
one,
I
yeah.
would ask the design advocate, but he is currently playing in the other semifinal.
I know they currently are playtesting set 11, so um, we will see what comes of it. So B Fred's just playing roulette here, just moving everybody over. So here comes some four strains. Two at Jakku system, one at Fondor system, and then one at three different Raltier sites. So looks like six to me.
So now we shift to what can Tom do to get as many cards back in Life Force as possible.
Yeah, as if I'm Tom, I want to initiate as many battles as I can if I know that I can win them because I can get cards back with domination every time.
I was actually surprised that he took Trample off of Justice before the second domination, because you can play two dominations at
You
once.
can play two dominations. That is true. Does he have maybe a Walker in hand and he wants to, or an ATST that he can use to do something fun with? Because yeah. Solo being deployed in front of the two Royal Guards.
But keep in mind that even though Solo's being deployed now, he's already used the Lost Pile text this game. He cannot do that
It was
again.
a barrier that he played from Lost Pile.
And Solo's going to get barriered here. That's going to get grabbed by Brian Fred. Smart move on Fred's part. He hadn't grabbed anything yet. Just keep that card out of Life Force.
Yeah, and he had a chance to grab like a command earlier, and he almost did, but he decided not to. So grabbing the barrier now, that might help prevent Kelly from retrieving an extra force or two with domination.
I think in hindsight, Brian definitely wishes that he'd grabbed that command.
I think you're right, because that probably really wrecked him up in space.
I don't think it was used in space ever during a battle,
Which
but
is
it was certainly played a couple of times, both to cycle and to pull
and stuff like
characters.
That.
Greg Shaw joining us in the booth.
What's up, guys?
Hi, Greg Shaw. So, yep, we okay, that is the one.
There's the Walker, so
That
maybe
just got
that's
six.
probably what he wanted the trample for.
Yep. So now he can trample.
He's
like
going to play it
Rose
right
or
now.
Chewy.
We'll see who he's targeting. He draws a 4.
Yep, Chewy going.
It was Chewy.
Chewy just got trampled.
That's a lot of stuff on the table.
Yeah, someone said it earlier. They actually counted all of Tom's cards. It was like 34 cards on the table or something crazy. And that was a few turns ago, so I think it's only gotten worse from then.
But it looks like he didn't battle. He just
trampled.
he
Chewy.
trampled and then went to move face.
I
He
mean,
could have. He's
yeah.
being careful. He could have retrieved an Imperial with a battle, but
Yeah, he's the only one doing damage there right now. There's
Yeah.
no reason to get into a weird squirrely battle that you can't. You don't know all the variables, but yeah, I mean, B-Fred's on fumes at this point, so I mean, like he's got to try to get this down as low as he can.
I don't think he has a hand either. He may just be looking at drawing up here.
I think, yeah. Okay,
Yep.
So they're drawing up here. So we'll see. We'll get a total on what that win was by Tom. I'm guessing it's a good 15 or 16 or so.
16 it looks like.
So that's a pretty healthy win from Tom. I mean,
17.
17.
Okay, so we were off by one. It was a full win by 17 from Tom Kelly in game one. So I mean, B-Fred's definitely fighting an uphill battle in this second game.
That's impressive. I did not think that Tom had 17 cards left.
Yeah, like we said earlier, it was like with having all those cards on the table, I thought for sure he just must have had a really small hand throughout a lot of those later turns.
Yeah, and actually, well, when I went out there and said I thought he had 15 to 20 cards back, I'm not sure if he lost any other cards. I think his life force may even have increased since that point.
Retrieval that he might have been doing from the domination stuff. So
I keep coming back to what you said a few minutes ago. Brian knew that Tom was probably playing Robs.
because we played it yesterday, And like you said, even at the very beginning of this, if Tom was only playing IE because Rops wasn't good.
The only thing I can think of is Brian put Tom on entanglements.
Yeah, but his OA, in my it's like my MPC testing, my second round opponent, if I beat Lingro, was going to be Tom Kelly. So I was expecting IE and Rops, and so I variabled off of OA because I didn't think I could beat IE or Rops with OA, and so that's why I went with Throne Room because I felt like I had more of a matchup with those two decks with Throne Room than I did with OA. So, but yeah, so we'll see if these guys are going to. They'll probably take a few minute break. That's interesting, Emil. I'd like to hear sort of how your strategy is against it, or if you have maybe some techie cards that are better against Rops. I know there's a few things you can probably do um, to help the matchup. I liked what Brian Fred did early on, where he like moved the Falcon over and then landed the Falcon. Like that's a strategy I think I didn't really think of when I was playtesting. So there's definitely some interesting things you could do, but you just don't do a lot of damage when they flip.
Hmm.
You know, so and you have to really fight them on Reltier, and that's tough. So
Emil, we appreciate your. And I'm stopping. Guys, I'm stopping the stream for a couple minutes. We will.
oh here we don't stop it. Just go to intermission slide,
Okay.
um, and then we'll just say next game starting soon or something. Yeah, we'll take a break. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick 5 minute break to chill out and catch up on some stuff. We'll be back in a few moments with the next game.
The mic was muted, which Jerry told me before I put the headset on.
That was the information I was getting from the chat, was that the mic was muted.
So they couldn't hear anything either of us were saying.
Yeah.
Well, they can't hear anything you guys are saying because you don't have mics, period. But my mic was muted.
Couldn't they? Can you guys hear us? Yes or no? Right now, as I'm yelling in Casey's general direction.
Tom wants to know if you can hear him.
I want to know if ML's giving me bacon.
Are the lights on your headset flashing? Yeah, you should be on.
I am on. Well, now I'm on.
Okay. I had it muted because I didn't want to.
So Jerry muted the mics. This is Jerry's fault.
Well, I usually just blame Jerry. I either blame Jerry or I blame KAYSO.
That's not me. I swear. That's not me.
Yeah. Jury's still out.
That's a great way to have it all. Just like make it so everyone thinks that it's somebody else.
Yeah. I definitely think Chris Kelly has multiple also.
Why do we have a 5'5", 14-year-old Anakin, but it was a priority to make Rose? Well, we have about 6 versions of a 6'6", 40-year-old Anakin, so we did make other Anakins.
All the ones you haven't seen, obviously it's retiring now because I told everybody.
All right,
I have like one secret ID show.
we do have an update from the other. Chris Kelly won by 8, so Chris Kelly is indeed playing Hitco for Light, and was it?
That you can't really say.
Okay. I'm not supposed to talk about the other match in front of the competitors. Chris Kelly's playing Light. It looks like Chris Gogolin was playing TTO, although I did not get a great look. He's playing some version of Endor Operations. Unclear if it was regular or TTO. The players are going to set up here for Game 2. Brian Fred is playing Agents of Black Sun as his Dark Side deck. This is a deck that was incredibly popular last year, up to and including the World Championships. And the deck got sort of taken down a peg thanks to an errata to Shadows of the Empire, which was one of its major support cards after Worlds. Tom Kelly for Light Side is going to be playing Old Allies, which is the same deck that Brian Fred just played for Light Side in Game 1. Now, those of you who are thinking, I've seen Tom Kelly in a feature match winning Game 1 by a large margin and having to play Old Allies against Black Sun in Game 2, this does seem a bit familiar. It's the same thing that happened at Worlds this past year, and I know Tom knows that I have to mention this on stream, and we spoke about it. But Tom was playing in the World Championship Final this past year, playing Old Allies against Hayes Hunter's Agents of Black Sun after winning Game 1 by a large margin, and he lost. He won the first game by about 19 or so, lost this matchup by 20 after playing very conservatively. And he's hoping to avoid a similar outcome here. So we've got Walkling, Brave Resistance, Strike Planning start for Tom. It's the same start that we saw Brian, with Brian starting Shadows of the Empire, Imperial Decree, and I actually didn't see what that last card was. I'm not sure if I have Jerry with me for this game, so I'm going to quickly check on the other match and check on Brian's last starting card while they're shuffling. All right, so the final effect on Brian Fred's side is wipe them out, all of them. And the Chris and Chris matchup, Chris Gogolin is playing That Thing's Operational against Chris Kelly's Hitco. I do not know if Chris Kelly is running the relatively unprotected effect in that matchup. It looks like in our current match, the players are ready to go, and in game one, both players had identical red sleeves, and it looks like in this game, both players have identical black sleeves. I don't believe that was planned ahead of time. So we see starting hands being drawn here. 8 cards apiece. We'll see if they show for the camera. See a leadership on Tom's side. Can't really see too much else. Grabber for Brian Fred is his first action of the game. We see Rescue in the Clouds from Tom. He's going to look at the top 3 cards of his reserve deck, take one into hand, shuffle the rest. Over on Brian's side, again, tough to really see what he's got going on in his hand. He's going to pull out a Vigo with the text on Imperial City. And you can see Brian Fred's deck there as he goes through it. Looks like he might be thinking about... He's pulling out a location. He might be thinking about... he's got the sewer in there. Hasn't pulled one out just yet. That was the Vigo pull. See if he's got a couple in hand, it looks like. So let's see what Brian chooses to do here. Might be going for another shield first. Oppressive Enforcement. No. I mean, I'm not sure that that's the one he wants. It does let him play his immediate effect for free, but first he's going to get Fanfare. Upload Shizor's Bounty. Couple of shields on Tom's side. He's got the Grabber. He's also got Do or Do Not, since you'll see Sense from the Black Sun deck. There's Shizor's Palace from hand. And Brian just going to draw some cards. It looked like he may have had both Palace sites in hand. He moves over Shizor, flips his objective. Puts a card back. Gonna use the Black Sun text to look at the cards in this force pile. Looks like, according to my design, was 1. He's gonna draw 1. Here's Jerry.
I'm back.
We've got the sauce.
All right, and I did change some settings in between rounds, so y'all should be able to hear me a lot better now. Let me know if that's not the case, but everything should be coming through on my side a lot better now.
He's going to deploy the downtown, the Imperial Square.
So we got AOBS versus OA.
Twix.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Can you hear Jerry?
Hello, hello, hello. Queso, queso, queso. This is Queso here. I'm not KAYSO on GEMP. I don't know who that is. I'm guessing it's Remaker because he likes to impersonate other people, like with the Brian Fred avatar. Mike is good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what went on there, because it did look like he moved Shizor. Is there deploy phase movement text somewhere? He moved Shizor over, then he deployed the Twix. So I might be missing something. I'll be
the first to tell you that I've never played AOBS in a tournament, so I'm not super familiar with its text on things, but
I'm gonna try to get a clarification, because looks like chat doesn't have anything.
But they are active judging out there, right? So I mean,
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, so I assume that they would have.
Clarification. Let me ask.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure they're doing active judging. So anything that went on, and it could just be that he meant to do things in a different order, and Tom Kelly let him do it in the order that is correct. So I mean, without knowing what they were saying to each other or whatever. What's up, Reed? The first game, yeah, so he moved the Vigo and the Shizor, and then he deployed the 2-0 site. That's what I'm guessing. He just Tom Kelly just let him take it back, but because they're active judging in there, right? Yeah. Okay, so I mean, if there was any shenanigans, they would have caught that. Phil says hi.
Oh, hey, what's up? I was watching the games. Chris was playing TTO against Chris, who was playing MK.
Okay.
It looks like
Of course, Chris
this
Kelly was
was
playing
a
Hiko.
mutually agreed upon take back.
Okay, yeah, that's what me and Reed sort of I'm guessing maybe since they're active judging in there, they probably just said, oh, hey, is it cool if I put this out and then move the dudes over?
Yeah, Tim Simon, the rules advocate, is closely watching this game.
I don't think I'd rather have anybody else sitting there. So he's the rules advocate.
Don't think I'd rather have anybody else watching my every move.
Yeah.
You guys seen the Mr. Yuck sticker on the Visage?
On this one here? That's the Shadows of the Empire. The Mr. Yuck sticker. I remember having those when I was a kid.
That's a Pittsburgh Mr. Yuck sticker, the beef I got from me. 412 area code.
412. Represent.
That's right, representing the Fountain.
Pittsburgh in the house.
Pittsburgh in the house.
Because I was pretty sure that was I had given him that.
Nice.
Can you in chat? Can you guys hear Reed? Can they hear with the non-microphones?
They pick up on our mics. Oh yeah, it's in my backpack.
Want me to buy you lunch or something?
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
You're not leaving until tomorrow, right?
No, I'm leaving tonight, but
What's going on, man? How are you here playing?
yeah, the guys Reed didn't have a mic on, so whatever you were hearing, he was just picking up on our microphone. So we got people just walking by. That's all right. Reed's just pretty to look at. So all right, so we've got
Here's Ray. So we got to flip back. So who's 315? Is that a Pittsburgh guy?
that's
I'm
my
assuming.
guess. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that username.
Some type of Reed minion?
Either way, thanks for joining us. 315.
Might be Remaker. Is Josh here this weekend?
Josh Mack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is? Okay.
He was an 8-9 matchup with one of my Colorado teammates, and Justin beat him round 1. So
I was not here yesterday. I just arrived this morning, so I have not had a chance to see everybody yet.
yeah, we're glad you're here for today, though, man. Thanks for joining us for this and helping anchor down the commentary. Matt Sokol and Aaron Kingery did a bang-up job yesterday. From what
I heard they were fantastic. They got.
I haven't
reviews.
had a chance to watch any of it, but I will do that when I get home this evening.
All right, now we've got the second Shizor's Palace site. And the sewer as well. Okay.
So he's got all the sites out.
So the first 3 sites on the left-hand side of the camera go with Jakku, and the other 5 are
Tom gave us
Coruscant.
a little bit more of a separation there.
Yes, well done.
And there's going to be at least one more Jakku site, so they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to go vertical with a couple of those non-battlegrounds.
I do appreciate them trying to lay them all horizontal for stream purposes, but sometimes in matchups like these, you just got to go horizontal.
All right, so with the Falcon staying landed, that's how you keep AOBS flipped on the 0 side. So if you fly the Falcon up, then it flips back to the 7 side, I'm pretty sure. So you got to have Rey at a battleground site. She can be on the Falcon as a vehicle, but she has to be at least on the ground somewhere. So it does change the way that you use Rey in this matchup, for sure. Is there a
kindergarten around? There's a group of children.
Yeah. It's like a dance competition this weekend, and there is literally like more than 1,000 people here for it. It feels like this place has been chock full of people this weekend. So, hi Scott.
Here is the leader of the group of children.
So you can read everything pretty clearly.
Yeah. I think I might want to pull the camera up just a little bit because that'll give us a little bit bigger of a playing area for the next game. But other than that, things are running pretty smooth.
We also do have an answer for you about whether or not Sud 11 will be out in time for Euros. The answer is no, but the Euro Emperor has something special planned for you.
Ooh. So reach out to Menzel and see what his plans are for that. We were told, Kelly said it would be out by
it'll be out by
Nationals or
Continentals, the John
August.
Anderson Memorial event in Minneapolis.
And I think it was because USA is what Chris Kelly was basically saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be out by Euro Worlds and it'll be out by the big summer US event.
And those of you in Europe will get a chance to use it for actual Worlds.
Yeah, the toolkit and the flight suit are really good for canceling lateral damages and overwhelms, things that are really blow out in space. So I think he's brave resistancing Leia to get a different resistance character.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a Poe Dameron. Who's on the Falcon? Is it Rey and Calrissian? And then just the flight suit
Rey and Calrissian. I might want Solo here.
The Solo could be good. So I think this might be one of the first times that we've seen agents post Shadows errata in a big event. I know some people have been playing it on GEMP and in the OCS a little bit, but I don't think I've seen it since last year's Worlds when it was the big swing-in Darkside deck.
Mm-hmm. And just so everyone is up to date with the Shadows errata and what the card does now. Once per turn, if Emperor on Coruscant may draw top card of force pile. If you is this the old text? This is the old text.
Yeah, that is the old text.
Okay.
What it does is it only pings damage during your
During
turn.
your turn.
And it also makes it so you got to cost 2 force to pull the 2-0 Coruscant
Yes.
site. So, yeah. That's right. You can only download the square. You can't download the Caesar's Palace site. You have to use the Vigo to get the Caesar's Palace site out.
Right.
So that's Snap Wexley. He's an interesting pilot. When he's on his matching ship, he can like reduce force drains. But he's also just a really good resistance pilot. And another resistance character for the deck to use. Good old Snap.
Just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. I'm just sort of looking. Yeah, I don't know if B. Fred finds it as funny as you do, Steve, but I definitely do question the light side deck choice that he chose. I think if he just plays Throne Room, he's really good with that kind of a deck. You know, we've seen him play. But that OA just wasn't set up to beat Rops, you know? Alright, so Tom is going to put out Dash and Rogue 10. He's kind of moving some people around. I'm guessing maybe the Falcon might be flying up with Snap and Solo on it. Or Snap and Calrissian, I mean.
Clay, I've been playing Raiders on Jump a little bit. It's still fun. It's just as fun as it ever was.
Good old Palace Raider, watch your step. Alright, so it'll be interesting to see where all these characters and ships kind of move off to. So yeah, he's flying the Falcon up that's got Snap and Calrissian on it. And then everybody else is now... Yeah, so I guess it's Solo and Rey on Dash and Rogue 10. And then the Villager is outside. Or is that's Rogue 3? Okay.
That is Rogue 3.
So that can hold 2 pilots. So yeah, so it's Solo and Rey.
Solo and Rey,
With
Villager
the flight
outside.
suit and the toolkit. And then the Villager is outside to add one to the drain there.
Brian counting up his activation. He gets a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty decent for sure because he's got 4 icons coming from Tom's stuff. Or actually 5 icons. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And then all the ones from himself.
Including the Emperor.
Oh, yeah, true.
And he just paid to drain there.
Paid to drain.
Now he deploys Zuckuss to the system. Guri in the front of his hand looks like... Well, couldn't see who that was. It's a white border card.
It's a white bordered card, and you can only run so many characters or whatever in this deck, so...
It's not Greedo.
I'll jump into the other room and take a look at the Gogolin Kelly match. It's a TTO from Gogolin versus Hitko from Kelly, Chris Kelly. So I'll go in there and take a look, see what it's looking like.
Resistance shield from Brian Fred. And going for a fourth shield as well, maybe. Now opting against it. You'll notice that the card that Tom pitched to the last drain was Rogue One, and maybe that's a reason why you see Brian being comfortable not sending Guri onto Zuckuss.
All right, so checking in on that Chris Kelly, Chris Gogolin matchup, the TTO versus Hitco. It's looking pretty much how you'd kind of expect it to be. Gogolin has 2 systems on lockdown with his ships. Kelly doesn't have anything in space. Kelly's got 2 Endor sites, one with Luke. That one has a undercover Erica there.
Okay.
Chris Kelly definitely has more life force at this point, but I'd say it's probably about a 5 to 8 card advantage.
Did you catch who is on Zuckuss?
Oh no, I didn't look at that.
Okay. Steve, I don't think you have ever hurt my feelings worse than you just did. Ever. Yeah, of course.
But he's a Red Sox fan.
Of course, but I'm from Boston.
That'd be like saying you should do commentary for the Yankees, Steve. Yeah, Bosk is a good guess as the character on Zuckuss. So that's a character you can play in this deck. And it's a white-bordered potential card. Yeah, Bosk or Dengar would be my guesses for that card.
Could be Bosk from the title. It's a short title.
Yeah. So I think Tom Kelly's playing a leadership, and we're deciding if we want to grab it. Yep, it be grabbed.
Didn't grab the command last game, but he's going to grab the leadership now. And here's
Admiral Radis.
going. I think he's brave resistancing them. Radis.
You can't use brave
You can't.
resistance
He's
with
a rebel.
Radis.
He's a rebel. Yeah.
I think that's just the card he pulled with leadership.
I'll be honest, and maybe this is the original trilogy fan in me. I've lost track of who is Rogue One and who is Episode 7. It all runs together.
That's fair. Those movies kind of
They
came out at the same similar
about a year
time.
apart between each other. We started making cards around the same time, and
Yeah.
what? Jin's not a Resistance character.
Jin's a rebel. Yeah. Cassian, Saw Gerrera, all those guys are all rebels, and then guys
And the fact that you can play rebels in Old Allies, which does sort of seem counterintuitive, and I understand that when they made the objective, there were very few Resistance characters. I think if they were making it now,
they would
have said no rebels. But just the fact that you have a combination of those sort of like new scrub characters in the deck, they all sort of blend together.
Yeah, and because you want to have resistance characters to use with the objective text, because you have to have that to be able to reduce and stuff. But it's there's so many good rebels though too. So like you said, maybe if they made it now, they might limit the rebels that you could play. Like you could not play rebels at all, or maybe you can only have 2 rebels on the table or something weird like that. But
I loved Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was a great movie.
Rogue One, I think,
doesn't change the fact that I still get the characters confused with
Rogue
the
One
Resistance
does
characters.
rate pretty highly for me in terms of movies. I think I'd put it 2nd or 3rd. I thought it was really fun.
Overall.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really like that one a lot.
All right, so here we see Tanev coming down to Coruscant with a pilot.
I would guess Poe Dameron.
I would guess Poe Dameron. It is a Resistance pilot. And here's
And
Radis.
Radis.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to use
He's gonna
Radis
get a
to
Corvette
pull the
as well.
Corvette.
And again, we could have seen Guri last turn on Zuckuss, but Brian Fred chose to pay to drain.
And Bosk does do some destiny limiting in space, but I think
with
it had to be a
smuggler,
Yeah.
so he would limit with Chewie, who you're
Or
not really
Han
going to
or whatever,
see
yeah.
in space. Yeah, limits with Han.
But Han's already on the ground.
Han's on the ground. You're not going to see Chewie in space too much in this deck.
So he's going to battle at the Coruscant system.
What can Brian have here? There aren't
I mean,
too many defensive interrupts that work with Bosk.
He's going to Jedi Lev the Wedge.
And
That's
that's still
definitely
his
a rebel
first
that's
draw.
worth running in this deck.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Red Squadron Wedge is very strong. He's running
He's
two
running
of them.
two wedges, and he just drew them, and it is Bosk. Bosk forfeits for 5, so it looks like
He
he's
just
going
drew
to...
a 6 total for
He drew a
Destiny.
6 total, so it looks like he's going to clear the ship.
And then he can subtract 2 from that. That wouldn't be breaking the immunity anyway. So
Yeah,
So
3
that
three
Zuckuss
is
is
less
gone.
than 5.
yeah, so Zuckuss is gone, as well as the Bosk.
That's a huge blowout for...
Like you said, the
Brian
Guri,
Fred.
the Guri might have been the better play there because Zuckuss immune less than 5. It's a lot more.
I think
Lot more
Tom.
chance.
I think Tom learned his lesson. This is a far more aggressive line. That's it. Handshake.
Oh, wow, that's quick. Okay. I don't think we were expecting that, but B-Fred did have to win this game by 18.
Yep.
And after getting blown out there, looks like maybe B-Fred just got a shitty draw and just wasn't able to put anything together. So Tom Kelly will advance to the MPC Finals for at least the 3rd time, because I know he's won this event twice. I'm not sure if he's ever come up 2nd place. So,
Tomas, he had Tanev with a permanent pilot of ability 2, Poe, who is
two,
ability 2, and
then
Radis, is 3.
So that was
that's
a total
7.
of 7.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, 2 ability from the Tandiv, 2 ability from Poe, that's 4, plus 3 from Radis, 7. A lot of people think Radis is a 2 because he's kind of a schmoopy character, but he's a 3. So I think that's where maybe you got your math wrong there. But okay, so we're going to have Tom Kelly. He's awaiting the winner of Chris Kelly and Chris Gogolin. We'll try to maybe get you guys some updates on that one. That one's probably going to be over in the next few, maybe 10 to 20 minutes. It looked kind of right at the middle point when I went out and checked a little while ago.
If someone on stream could post on the forums that Tom Kelly has advanced to the final, it would be appreciated.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you, guys. We will take a break and check up on some other stuff for you. Kind of a schmoopy character. Anything for you, Phil. You are a good person, so I will definitely take care of that for you. Yeah, we're going to take a little break here. We'll check up on that other game, get you some more info, and we'll bring you the finals as soon as we have them. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure, if you are able to, hit that subscribe button. Help out the PC with your Twitch Prime donations and stuff. We definitely appreciate it. Send you some foils for that.
And I think before we get started on the final, we might have some interviews.
Oh
coming
yeah,
up
I think we
with,
were planning on doing interviews with these 2 guys. So maybe we'll actually do that first and then take a break. Or
Okay,
or maybe we'll figure it out.
it's unclear to me if we're going to be doing the interviews or if Dan is going to be doing.
I think
the
Dan
interviews.
was going to. Scott told us Dan was doing the ones from the consolation, and
Okay.
he wanted us to do these ones. So
We're gonna double check. We're gonna leave this up
for just a moment.
Just a moment.
We'll be
while we
right back
figure out
with
what's
you.
going on. All right, we are back with MPC finalist Tom Kelly. Your
Hey,
update
guys.
on the other semifinal game is that the other semifinal game is really close. We do not have more than that for you at this time.
But Kelly won the first one by 7, right? Chris Kelly.
Chris Kelly won by 8 in the first game. Tom,
Hey, what's
going to the
up?
finals of the MPC.
Thanks.
How you feeling?
Doing very well. I feel pretty good about how I played in this last match, so if I can carry that forward to the next one, I'm pretty confident.
You're on Old Allies and Rops.
Yes. So
What made you bring those decks?
well, Rops is just the best deck, I think. Map is pretty good too, but I like playing Rops. Even if Rops wasn't the best deck, I'd probably end up playing it because I like that style of play with the Scrubby Imperial guys. But fortunately, it is really powerful. So I was never testing any other deck and never was going to switch from day 1 to day 2. For Old Allies, I had played EBO yesterday, and EBO is really good, but it has a problematic matchup against Map.